Hi, everyone. I am Kristen Holstrom, and this is.
Brittany Van Veen. Hi, everybody.
And we are your custody queens off the clock. We love to break down these true crime documentaries, real life cases. We want to encourage everyone always think outside the box, ask questions who, what, when, why, where. How did we get here? And we have a show coming out all about.
Unknown Number. Dun dun dun. The Netflix documentary that everybody's talking about, skidding about, questioning, and teasing a little bit. But man, that's gonna be one questioning a lot about it from a parenting perspective, because we've got this big bombshell and some big questions about how the hell a mom can be tormenting her daughter.
Yeah, so if we had three bombshells to throw out about this documentary, I mean, my first one would be is how could you, as a mom, put your child through what you just put her through for 2 years and all of the collateral victims that are in this as well? That's number one, is how? And two is, I don't even want to say it as how sick are you, because I know that there is a deep rooted mental health illness that Kendra was dealing with, but it's so beyond that for me. And then three is, please tell me, Lauren, that you are not talking to your mother until you are in a place as an adult that you want to, that you feel safe to, and that there's appropriate boundaries for which I don't even want to call it a reconciliation, because that she has to be able to define her own relationship with her mother, and not dictate by Netflix followers or people that have never met her and want to tell her how she should live her life. But I hope that everything is done on her terms. And my last little takeaway before Britt gives me hers is, kudos to dad. Kudos to dad for the second that he found out. And it sounded to me like there were some big red flags with her credibility and her lying throughout the marriage, because dad's reaction was like, what now? Not again. I can't believe you did this again. There was definitely inferences that she had been untruthful about other things, including her job, that she was no longer employed at, but failed to tell her husband and her daughter that. So there's another issue with her inability to tell the truth. I thought dad stepped in, and I thought he did a good job, and you could tell it was over. That relationship was over, and that it does appear that Lauren is getting onto the path of healing and is growing as she grows in from the adolescent into the adult. I do like the relationship her and her dad have. All right, what's your takeaways, Britt?
I think this is the biggest advertisement for therapy and mental health that you can possibly get from every perspective and everybody that's touched on this. I mean, anybody who's sit down and talk to me knows I am always going to be the number one proponent for therapy. I think there is not a person on this planet who's not going to see benefits from therapy. If you think you don't need it, you probably should be first in line to get it.
Same.
Because really, it's only going to help. And I think every person here, we can sit here and we can armchair quarterback talking about potential mental health diagnoses. I know there was some discussion of Kendra and whether she might have Munchausen by proxy in a cyber capacity. I've seen a lot of discussion online and participated in some discussion about histrionic personality disorder, which if you don't know what that is, read up on it. It'll give you some nice summaries that really, some red flags that jump out here. Without trying to diagnose her, there's seriously something wrong going on. And the trauma, hurt people. And what has happened as a result of her behavior and her trauma that's been left in her potential mental health issues that have been left untreated is that she's now lit the path on fire as she walked and burned down, not just her daughter's lives, but the lives of everybody else affected, which is essentially their entire community.
Yeah, it was like their whole town. It's such a small town. I mean, I would find it hard to believe that there was someone that hadn't heard about this on some level, especially with social media now.
That hadn't heard about it, that hadn't been investigated.
Participated in the documentary. If you haven't watched it, go watch it and then come back and watch this. If you have watched it, I think you will still love our more in-depth show where we talk about all of the different aspects that go through this from both Lauren's side, Kendra's side, Owen's parents' side, the town side, and all of the different, just kind of really unique, complex issues that come up in this documentary. Please, if you like this, if you like us, I mean, I don't know how you couldn't, but we are just a couple of family law attorneys trying to give a little bit of our take on the world and these cases and these crimes without really trying to solve a crime or really tell the story from a different way. We're just, we're talking about it. We're asking questions. What if, when, who, why, how? But if you like it, hit like, hit subscribe, and join us for the next one. And yes, I am someone that believes every therapist should have a therapist. And when I am doing an intake with not even a new client, a prospective client, I literally will check that box that I have highly recommended that they get a therapist, and or most of my clients, I require them to be getting some sort of therapy or counseling, because guess what? Every one of us needs help. And that is not something that should be denied or ashamed of or embarrassed. I actually think it makes you so much stronger for admitting it. And I'm like, dude, I got a couple on speed dial. So,
and I know all my clients are cringing a little bit as they hear me say the same thing I've told them about really advocating those therapists. If you think you don't need a therapist, I want a letter from your therapist saying you no longer need to be in therapy because you've been cured.
I hope you enjoyed this, and we look forward to sitting with all of you. Please send your questions, your comments, and your DMs, and Brittany and I will make sure that we jump in those comments and get back to you. Make sure you catch us on our next show. We are the Custody Queens off the